till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high through the rain, through the fire. This is my cause, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm trying to jump them till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire.
Hi guys, and how are you? And welcome to THFC Till We Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future, of course, on the Thomas Frank. And this is the pre-match thoughts for you members that pay you hard-earned money to this channel every month. So this is why we do this show for you. And that looks a little bit. Just get that right. Hang on. Sorry, I thought I had it done perfect. Obviously, I didn't. But you see, you get a little bit of an insight into what I have to go through before any shows. Sorry, I'm late. I do apologize about that, guys, and hope you are doing well. Let me know if everything is going through okay. Just let me check the audio. Yeah, everything's fine. Right, guys, how are you? How are you this evening, this afternoon? Are we all looking forward to the match tomorrow? I am actually. And look, I've seen a lot of YouTubers saying we're going to get beat up there. Look, I think we've got a good record against Man City over the years, and we've got a good record up there. We did win up there, I think 4-0, wasn't it? Last season, during Man City's bad run. But I think we can get a result there. I think we either get a draw or we get a sneaky 2-1 win. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what is on your mind today. This show's about you, your members. So you get your questions to me. I would just give you all the latest information, guys, that you need, and all the stats and who's in charge and where you can watch the game as well. That is coming up as well. But first, we're going to go through Thomas Frank's press conference. Before that, I'm going to welcome in a few members. Big up to Dave, Giant68. Big up Dermo Coins. This match is a good distraction from the diabolical transfer window. It is. And look, I said what I said about it yesterday, and I'll stick by that the owners need to go. Look, I understand that people are angry with the window and angry with the Eze deal. But if you're really going to be logical about it and think properly and actually think smartly, if he was going to have a choice between us and Arsenal, where was he going to go? Now, we don't know the full ins and out of this deal. We don't know what really happened. Yes, Daniel Levy could have just paid the release clause before the start of the Premier League season, and he'd be wearing the Spurs shirt now. Yes, Daniel Levy could have done a lot more to get the deal over the line. I wholly agree. Totally 100% agree. But we don't know what the full story is. We weren't in the room at the time that this deal was being made. We don't know how or what was going on and what was being said. We don't know if it was Eze that was holding up the deal. We don't know if Steve Parish at Crystal Palace was holding up the deal. And to be fair, we should have been smelling a rat, to be fair, when they kept moving the goalpost. Oh, we want him in for the game on Thursday. We want him in for the game against Chelsea. And lo and behold, last night he didn't play. Rang up, said he's mentally physically not right. Now, is that mentally or physically? We don't know. Is he carrying an injury? We don't know. But I understand the outpouring of anger. I understand the outgoing of frustration with this ownership and with this way that we deal with stuff, that we deal with transfers, that we go about our windows. Um, I think it's wholly unacceptable. I think it's wholly wrong. And if you look at other clubs, if you look at other teams, how they go about their business, to get the business done early, to get the business done quick. And it really is remarkable that we as a football club can really piss things around and really not get things right, which doesn't help the manager. At the end of the day, their job is to supply the manager with the best players to help him succeed in his philosophy, help him succeed in what we want to achieve this season and what we want to achieve, which is to be successful, which is to build on the Europa League win, which is to build on the winning mentality of we won one trophy, let's get another one. Yes, we did have an early chance against PSG. We played very well. PSG just nicked it at the end on deserve. They didn't deserve to win that, by the way. We did. But enough is enough. And I think us as Spurs fans, we have to see what the last 10 days of the window bring. But I think, honestly, I just think it's going to be the next 10 days are going to be really interesting and will define, I think, Thomas Frank's management stay here at Tottenham. It really will, because either the fans will get behind them and back them, hopefully they will. But would I say we get spanked tomorrow 4-0 by City? Are we going to have certain of the fan base turning on Frank and certain of the fan base turning on the ownership? It's going to be interesting, and it's going to turn very toxic very quickly. And I think this is not a time to be fighting. This is not a time to be fighting. This is not a time to be this is not a time to be fighting amongst ourselves. This is not a time. This is time for us to be together, strong. And to be sorry, guys. Look, it's just the way it is, isn't it? It's just so frustrating. Big up to John 68. It's not just Eze, it's MGW as well. We need a 10 and a scam desperately. They should have 3 to 4 options lined up. Priority would. Yeah, he would. And I look, for me, Lang has to go, but look, that's for a whole show on Monday. I'm doing a whole show on that on Monday, guys. But today it's all about Man City, the game tomorrow, and that's what I want to focus on. I think between now and Sunday, just the game, just focus on the game, focus on Tottenham Hotspur winning tomorrow and getting the 3 points at the Etihad, and continuing the good start we've had to the season, and then take it from there, and then just concentrate also on the under 21s tonight, which I will be doing a live watch along as well. So I'm trying. I'm going to put out my head about transfers. If anything comes up, of course, guys, I bring to you first and fastest, like I always do. But I think between now and Sunday, concentrate on football, concentrate on the team, concentrate on the match tomorrow, and then Monday, I think we can revisit with basically a week to go in the transfer market, where we are and what we have to do. But things do have to change, and that is probably the title of the show on Sunday. Things have to change, so do join me for that. Well, let's go over it. Let's start with Thomas Frank's press conference, as we always do on these shows, guys. Just let me take the banner off for you if I can. Let's take the banner off. There we go. And also, this was actually a little thing that we didn't know about, that snook under the radar, that Frank's records biggest opening win for Tottenham in 40 years. Saturday's fine victory over Burnley was our biggest win in a new management first league game in charge for almost 40 years. Thomas Frank was the head coach role for his first Premier League game fixture appointment against Burnley. We won 3-0, and that was the first time we won by that margin since David Pleat back in 1986. First game in charge the following his arrival from Luton Town, also ending in the 3-0 win as Clive Allen struck a hat-trick against Aston Villa at Villa Park on the 23rd of August 1986. Of the 21 managers and head coaches we've had from Pleat to Frank, 10 have led us to victory in their first league game. For clarification, this doesn't include caretaker managers or interim managers. So, guys, look, Thomas Frank, David Pleat won 3-0. And what happened? Went on to reach an FA Cup final, League Cup semi-final, and we finished third in the league. We could have won the treble that year, but we didn't. And Clive Allen went on to score 49 goals. Would we all take that this season? Hell yeah, we would. But you know, that's nice little bit of history there at the start of the season. I think that bodes well for Thomas Frank. And look, I think it's a nice little bit of history and something that we should be proud of. Right. His press conference, injury news. Destiny is better and trained with the team twice, full training, just too short to be involved against City. We want him to train tomorrow and get another week. Basuma is also out. Kulu is out for some time. I don't want to put a time frame on it. I'm probably looking at November, December, I read somewhere. So that for Kulu, for Basuma, look, I think he's been frozen out the team. And I think need to get rid as well. And that's the other thing I'm going to talk about Monday is our outgoings. We've been paralyzed. Our recruitment team and transfer team have been absolutely paralyzed, guys. And again, I will talk about that again on Monday. Thomas Frank on transfers. I don't speak about specific players unless they're at a fantastic club. There have been a lot of rumors, including players linked, when I think that's interesting because there's nothing in it. There have been a lot of links and a lot of links in the future in general. Talking generally, I don't want any players that don't want to come to this club and wear this fantastic badge. We don't want them here. I am sure the fans feel the same. And I agree. Anyone that doesn't want to come to our club and feels they're being forced to come to our club, I don't want them here. Like, you know, if Ezzy came, great. Ezzy wanted to come, but when he had to make a choice, he picked Arsenal. So he didn't really want to come here in the first place. So we don't want players like that. We want players who are committed to Thomas Frank, committed to the club, committed to the badge, and committed to our fans. Here, they're committed to the process of what Thomas Frank's trying to build and what Thomas Frank is trying to do at this fantastic club. And I agree with them 100%. Thomas, the Spurs pass on Richie. Right now, he is my starting 9. He scored 2 top goals. Richie wants to stay. I want to keep him. And there's been no talk about anything else. And I think that's good because I think if you can keep Richie fit, I think if you can keep him fit and healthy, I think Richie could have a good season this year, with it being a World Cup year as well. Frank, on whether his squad is stronger than it was before the start of the window. You can say that that's 2 players in, 2 players out, so probably pretty similar. I would say. I look. You can read the rest yourself. In my opinion, I don't think the squad is stronger. I don't think it's weaker. I don't think it's stronger. I don't think it's weaker. I just think it's I just don't think. I just think that's what I think it is. Is It's not anything else. What would make it stronger? I think it's a couple of more signings in the door. But at the moment, I think with all the games we've got to play, I just think we're going to struggle and we've got to prioritize what we want to be in, what we don't want to be in. And I didn't want that. If we've got 4 competitions, we don't have a squad for 4 competitions for definite. More Frank and need to sign players. That seemed to be the questions of the day in the press conference, to be fair. Of course, we need to do everything we can. We have 6 good front players. That is very competitive. Kulu will come back this season, probably longer term than Maddison. I'm also confident we will sign a player before the end of the window. I hope you're right, Thomas. on the creativity of his Spurs squad. I think we just played the first game and scored 3 goals. So I think that was pretty promising. Kudus has that spark, and I think Matthias Tell can play in the different positions. Dom and Richie can score goals. Brennan is our deep runner. We have variations. And I think he's right in that. If you do look at the front three, it can be very different. One thing we need is a proper striker. I understand he's saying that Dom and Richie can score goals, but I don't think they are going to be your 15 to 20 goals a season mark. I really don't. So we have to weigh where we're seeing that and where we get to the end of the window. But I do understand what you're saying. That look, I've been saying it before. Played Brendan Johnson as a second striker, or play him as the striker, and see what it can do up there. I don't think, why not? Why not? Why not? Why can't we not do that? Big up to the real, yeah, big up to you, Lewis. It says, so it stands its mid-table side if it gets 7th. That believes a good season. As for Windows, it's a 3 so far. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, but more about Monday. But so that was all about the press conference, more about, are you buying players, what we're going to do. I feel very much on a personal level that whoever is running the transfer market is letting Thomas Frank down big time. And I feel as a club, we're letting them down big time. But we have to wait and see. We have to see where we go from here. Now, guys, this is it. This is what you come to watch. This is your build-up to the Man City game. This is what we want. Match week 2, the 23rd of August at the Etihad Stadium, as Thomas Frank's Tottenham Hotspur go and take on the high-flying Man City, Pep's Manchester City. We got where you can watch the game, guys. If you're in the UK and Ireland, it's on TNT Sports. In the US, guys, it's on NBC Sports. And in Canada, it's on Fubo TV. Match officials tomorrow, the referee is Peter Banks. His assistants are Edward Smart and Blake Antibus. The 4th official is Andrew Kitchen. On VAR is Andy Madley. And then the VAR assistant is Sane Massey Ellis. Right. This is our league positions, guys. Of course, Man City are first with 3rd with both top wins. No draws, no defeats. And then XG per 90. Man City just edges on 2.47 to Tottenham's 2.32. Over the door, we've played 56 times against Man City over the Premier League history with 8 draws. Man City have won a total of 19 and then 56, 11 at home, 8 away. And also Tottenham have won 29 of them 56 games, 17 at home and 12 away. So we have a pretty good record when it going up to the Etihad. This is the last 5 fixtures we have played against Man City last season. Of course, the beat us at home 1-0. But on the first part of that 2-leg, we did win 4-0 their place. City won 2-0 at the end of the 23-24 season. And we're in that amazing 3-3 draw on the 23-24 as well. And we did beat them 1-0 on the 22-23 season at home on Sunday, the 5th of February. We also have played them twice in history, and this is important. We did play them in the 1981 FA Cup. We drew 1-1 in the first game, but beat them 3-2 with Ricky Villa's amazing solo goal to win the game for us, to give us the lead after Garth Crooks got one and Ricky Villa gave us the lead. And then, of course, we did beat them 1-0 on the 5th of May 2010. Harry Redknapp's Tottenham went up there, beat them 1-0 to qualify for the first ever Champions League, the first time we've qualified for the Champions League in our history. We had Darren Bent, didn't we, chucking a big bottle of, or big barrel of cold water over Harry Redknapp in his underpants, which is forever gone down as a legend. Guys, these are your injuries. We've got Dragston out with the ACL. We've got Maddison out with the ACL. We have Kulu out with his knee. We've got Man and Solomon out with his calf. We've got Taki out with his foot as well. And Brian Hill is out with his knee. And also a doubt for tomorrow. Of course, Basuma is on. We don't know if he's been frozen out or there is an injury. I couldn't find anything, but we know that your doggy is not playing tomorrow, but he has trained, so he's still a doubt. But he hasn't trained. He has trained twice. He's training tomorrow, and he should be back for the game next week. But look, I just think it's going to be a good game. I think we're going to have to go up there and be patient. I think Frank might play 3-5-2. The predicted lineup video will be out tonight about 9 o'clock, guys. So do watch for that. And I've tried to think, how would Thomas Frank set up the team? For me, I think if you look at the way we played against PSG, I'm sort of aiming that way as well, gaining that way. So we will find out. Let's see what you guys think. Giant says, bring Parrott back. He has been banging in the goals for free. We have a 20% sell-on clause. Make it happen. Look, Troy Parrott, nothing would see me great to see Troy Parrott come back to Tottenham and really make success of it. But when he was here, Dave, he didn't make a success of it. He didn't really grab the opportunity. And to be fair, playing in the Dutch league and the Premier League, two completely different leagues altogether. The Premier League is a more tougher league to play in than the Dutch league. No disrespect to the Dutch league, but I think if you went out there, I think even the crappiest a player might come back and look like a world star. But it's all about the Premier League. When he did play in the Premier League and he'd gone out to loans here in England, he never really shined. So I understand. I'm disappointed doing good after Even Ferguson. I've seen a lot of Even Ferguson. I think he has more potential to, under the right coach and under the right system, to really make it a big success in the Premier League. But he's gone out to Italy now, see how he does there. And also Dave says, I think it will be a 1-1 or a 2-2. Look, I take a point. If somebody said to me now, you get a 1-1 draw, I take it now. Yep, thank you very much. That'll do. But me being me, I'm going for a 2-1 win tomorrow. If we win, we go to the top of the league, which would be nice. But yeah, I'm going for a 2-1 win tomorrow. That is my prediction. But guys, this is your pre-match thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed it. This will be going out again to you non-members at 11 o'clock tonight, guys. So do, if you're not a member, pick up your memberships, because you can watch this live when I do it at 4 o'clock every Friday. So join us then. Big up to Giant. Big up to the Real Lid popping in as well. Big up to people that watched us over an X as well. 18 of you watching the next. So big up to you guys over there. We are back tonight at 10-7 with the under-21s watching on Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. It would have to be Crystal Palace, wouldn't it, after the week we've just had? So anyway, can the Lily White, the under-21 youngsters, can they beat the Eagles and make it 2 wins out of 2 after beating Sunderland away on Monday? And yeah, so whatever you do, come on, you Spurs. In Thomas Frank we trust. We never stop. And thank you for watching. Come on, you Spurs.
Eyes on the prize.